And Dave, before we go into our next segment, we have to talk about today's sponsor of the show, and that is Manscaped. If you are sitting there at home going, guys, I need the smoothest balls like Ricky Widmer talks about every single day. How do I do that? You do it with Manscaped, Dave. And today's show is brought to you by Manscaped, as it has been for the last few days. Manscaped is the best in below-the-waist grooming. It offers precision tools for those delicates, the most delicates of family jewels. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men. Yeah, it's trusted by only 2 men, Dave. Only 2 men. We're the only 2.
Right here.
Yeah, we're the only 2. No, 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all your below-the-waist grooming needs. Dave, I talk about it all the time. Lawnmower 3.0 is amazing. I love it. Use it. Can't get enough of it. The ball deodorant makes your balls smelling and looking as fresh as they can be. So right now, all of our listeners get 20% off and free shipping using the code MVP at manscaped.com. That is 20% off and free shipping. Just use the code MVP when you check out at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. And Dave, one thing that sometimes needs to be trimmed from now and then is a wolf, Dave. You get a pet dog, you gotta sometimes trim the hair because that hair gets out of control. T-Wolves don't need much trimming though. These wolves are not real wolves. They are people. And we're talking about the T-Wolves draft, Dave. Don't ask me. Shit comes out of my brain, into my brain, out of my mouth. We just roll with it, Dave.
I know why Pat McAfee says the shit he says. I don't know why you say the shit you said.
I just say it, man.
Your glasses are for real. They're not for hiding something.
My glasses are for real. And I'm not even drinking. I'm drinking like actual bottled water. So I'm not even.
Yeah, I got nothing, Ricky. I got nothing.
Maybe I'm just that stupid. Comment section, don't go off on me. But Dave, we are going into the NBA draft, a segment we used to love to do on the Fast Break, where we take a team, we start at the top, we go all the way through. I don't know how often we're going to do this because obviously we don't want to run out of teams too soon. But the T-Wolves right now, if the season ended today and the lottery basically panned out like it was right now, the T-Wolves would be the number 1 pick. Now, usually how we do this is, if they get number 1, if they get 1, 2, 3, if they get like 4 and 5, and then if they're outside the lot or bottom of the lottery, this one's easy. They can either have number 1, they can either have number 2, or they can have number 3. So we're basically going to go through 3.
And why is that, Ricky?
Because the pick is protected top 3. If it's 4 or lower, it goes to the Warriors because it was traded in the Andrew Wiggins deal. So, Dave, we're going to start number 1 with the Warriors. I think this one, or for the Wolves, this one is the easiest, but number 1, it's Cade Cunningham, right? Like, it's still, if they're at number 1, Cade Cunningham's their guy, and they just pair him next to D'Angelo Russell, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is no brainer. I mean, it's just Cade Cunningham is he's still number 1. Now, are we saying that no one else will be number 1 by the end of the season?
No.
I'm no longer saying that, Ricky.
No, I mean,
I'm no longer saying Cade Cunningham is the guaranteed first overall pick in this draft because there's a phenom coming. There's someone who is lighting it up. You could say he's igniting it up.
Who's the better pick then? Cade, number 1. Would it be Cade or JG4?
No, Kuminga.
What?
Yep.
I heard you were talking about JG4.
Nope.
You think Kuminga's going to be the number 1 pick?
Yep.
All right, then my question changes. In your mind,
I think he could be. I think that's where we're at.
You almost made me spit my water up because I thought you were talking about your boy GG4, Dave. I had the nickname all lined up for you.
I watched today's game. That's 2 games in a row now. And again, GG4 recovered.
Yeah.
Small sidestep. G League Ignite played a second game today. JG4 Green. He did recover. He shot a little bit better. It's still not a consistent shot. Handles, still not loving it, but more went in. So credit to him. He deserves it. He really took over in the second half of that game.
Though.
Jonathan Kuminga. He's a different. He is a different kind of animal, Ricky. He is the scoring wing of the future. He is a 3-level scorer who can ball handle, who can pass, who can play physical defense, and he is raw still. And he's doing this against grown ass fucking men. That's the thing. I can watch what Cade Cunningham is doing in OK State and in college, and it's like, yeah, okay. But watching what Kuminga does, I don't know, Ricky.
And
something else hits differently.
In case you guys didn't watch today with the G League, Kuminga had 24 points, 4 assists, 6 boards, 2 steals, a block. Went 7 of 15 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, which was way better than his first game. I think he went 0 of 7, 1 of 7.
1 of 7.
In the first game, and then 7 of 10 from the foul line. I'm going to answer my own question, Dave, something I usually don't do. Usually I just kick it off to you. Right now we have...
Well, I did talk a lot there, so you didn't really not.
At number 1 then, like based on Kuminga, like I'm looking at it then of like, what would be a better pick for the Wolves at 1? And if by the draft, if Kuminga is the like guy we're talking about, or even if we're talking about Cade or Kuminga.
Oh, he's also a year younger, by the way.
He's also a year younger than Cade Cunningham. I don't know. I look at this team and I go, okay, you could theoretically put Cade Cunningham next to D'Angelo Russell and be fine. Cade would be your point guard. D'Lo would be your shooting guard. But there's a part of me that goes, last year, what was I basically saying this team needed to get, Dave? It starts with a D. Defense. They were the worst team defensively at the rim. Guess what? They did nothing to help. And Anthony Edwards doesn't help that. They're still, in my mind, one of the worst. Like, them and the Wizards are the teams where it's like, you need defense. All right, the Wizards kind of got defense with Denny Abdia. Like, Denny's defense better than Anthony Edwards.
Yes, but it's a good thing they didn't only take Anthony Edwards in the draft. Because at the end of the first round, they took the long boy in McDaniels, who is their new starting 4. In my brain. So, he's not starting yet. He will be.
A little bit
He
better.
Will be their starting 4 before the end of the year.
Defensively. And, like, to me, it's like, with this team, Ricky Rubio's still under contract for 1 more year. I know that Rubio has not looked the same. Yeah, he looks miserable after going there from Phoenix. But, like, if I'm the Wolves then, if, like, Kuminga is in the running for number 1 pick, I would take Kuminga over Cade Cunningham. Only because of, like, I know a point, like, to me, the more detrimental need for this team is somebody who can play defense. Like, the Wolves need to do what the Bulls did, Dave. The Bulls went out and got our guy that can not only score but play defense from the wing position. Like, if Kuminga is that good and proves to be that good,
the Wolves potentially still growing.
Yeah, the Wolves at 1 would be stupid for not taking him at 1. They'd be stupid for not taking him. Cade Cunningham would be good, but I would take Kuminga.
That's the thing, Ricky, here. I don't know if I'm overthinking the situation because I've watched so much Cade Cunningham in college. And like I said, it's nice, but the level of intensity is not there. He does all the right things. And again, I've made all the excuses for him. His teammates all suck. He would have like 3 more assists if he played on a decent team in college. His defensive effort's not there. He does shoot well, but at the same time, he's also had games where he's just not got it. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I don't know. There's just there's a pace. There's something else going on. I'm probably overthinking it, and I don't know what I'm gonna decide by the end of the year. But right now, I think I might go Kuminga number 1.
I mean, yet again, you are right.
I slapped the wall to start this episode, and I might go back on it.
You got to slap at the wall. Now, I am gonna say this. Maybe we are overthinking it a little bit because you do think about 1 and 2 from the Ben Simmons year. Ben Simmons went 1, BI went 2. BI had, I'm going to say, a better season in the media's eyes than Ben Simmons did because Ben Simmons was always like he was playing for LSU, who didn't have a better team. Duke went to the Sweet 16 while LSU went to the NIT. It was either the NIT or the CBI. And basically Ben Simmons like, fuck this shit. I ain't playing in this shit, getting myself injured. Which, it
seemed like him all of college, to be fair.
Yeah. So, I mean, yet again, is this going to be the same thing where we look at Cade Cunningham and it's like, oh, he's the inferior product, Kuminga. Now, the thing that Kuminga has that BI didn't, BI was playing in college. Like you said, Kuminga's playing with fucking grown men out there, Dave. Like, that could be the difference of, like, if he is dominating defensively against grown men, yes, G Leaguers, not NBA players still, but
Still
G
a lot
Leaguers are better than college
NCAA.
players.
Yeah.
It's not as sloppy. Well, yes, it's sloppy, but college is also sloppy
It's
as
still
well.
better. Like, the level of competition in the G League right now is miles ahead of college basketball, which is miles behind international play already.
Which I will say, I love college basketball. Nothing can
Absolutely,
stray me
there's
away
something
from
special
it. But
about it.
yeah,
You have to admit the level of competition is higher elsewhere.
No, it is because, like, it's just you're playing with pros or guys that are fighting for like Jared Jack fighting for an NBA contract.
Yeah,
potentially.
The dude has been in the league for over a decade. He's a grown ass man. He knows more about basketball. He's probably forgotten more about basketball than these kids have ever learned.
Yeah,
like, that's different. You know, when you're playing against other 18-year-old, 19-year-olds, that's great. But when you're playing against a 30-year-old grown ass man, like, no, good fucking luck. It's a different game.
So does that mean at 2? Let's say.
I think 1 or 2, you are in great shape here.
You're either
and I'll even say this year where you're fucking good 1 through 5. But let's, for argument's sake, just say I do start to wonder. Mobley had another great game. Like, we talked about him being a unicorn. Talked about him being the next best prospect for a big since Anthony Davis. Like, we're talking about someone who has special defensive ability, someone who has instincts, who has the ability to stretch the floor a little bit of ball handling. I mean, the frame is there, Ricky. I don't know how the Wolves could fuck this up. I think that 1 through 3, if they have their pick this year, I don't know that they can miss. Like, and I know we've never had a year where 1, 2, and 3 are all never going to miss.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of a draft out. I mean, like, obviously, you'll get the LeBron draft, and if it's shrug, whatever. 1, 3, 4, 5 all hit. You know, I think we're seeing talent, not on that level per se, but of the same caliber of how close the top talent in this draft will be. I really do believe that it is just so good at the very top.
I'll say, though, like, the closest we've come to it is the meme draft, the Anthony Bennett draft, because the top 3 wasn't a complete bust because Anthony Bennett was a bust. Yeah. Victor Oladipo was the best pick out of the top 3. Otto Porter wasn't. Like, he was the number 2 pick of that top 3, where at the minimum, at this point right now, I know he was good in the past, but right now you're getting at least a player that can help your NBA team. If he can fucking stay healthy with that back. Other than that, it's like Cody Zeller, who is still a starter for Charlotte, but on many other teams, would he even be a starter beyond that team? Alex Len,
I'm thinking maybe like the 2019 where you had Zion, Ja, RJ. Like, you had 3 guys together where all of them look like they can lead a franchise going forward. I know it's still very early in their career. Like, that's the kind of top talent that I see here. You know, that's shit. 2016 even. Yeah. Ben Simmons, Ingram, and Jaylen Brown. Yeah. Like, I mean, we didn't see Jaylen Brown being this fucking good.
We questioned it, but
we questioned it. You hated it. You hated us. We apologize.
Here's the thing, and I want to defend ourselves a little bit. We never thought Jaylen Brown was a bad prospect.
Correct.
My big thing was I thought he should have went back to Cal for 1 more year. That's what I thought, because the way the season ended, and like I wasn't really for sure on him. I thought going back to college, working on games, like you, JD said you were actually kind of part right, even though you also hated the pick. Was in our draft grades videos, you said that he's going to be a project, which he kind of was. Took him a couple of years to become who he's become, but like yet again,
I like being called right.
Like, yet again, going back to college and doing that or coming in the pros. Either way, he needed another year to be what maybe we thought a draftee would be. Even though we got memed on that because he's proven us wrong with the fucking Celtics pick being picked at.
But, I mean, that's the level of talent that I think we're talking here.
Okay.
I literally think all 3 of these guys will be franchise caliber, like, leaders. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe leader's not the right term because I don't know if personality-wise, if they're all leaders in the locker room and whatever, like, you know, Ben Simmons gets a lot of crap for being a quiet guy and not the vocal leader of his team because Joel is. But I don't know with these guys, but I do think that talent-wise, 1 through 3 between Cade, Kuminga, and Mobley right now, it is special. And that's why I know Minnesota fans don't love to hear this, but like, you're doing the right thing by sucking so much dick right now this season. Like, you cannot lose out on this draft class, or it puts your franchise back immensely. I know we've already seen, hey, how many more top tier picks does this team have to get before they can get out of the fucking basement? But like, it's a lot. The answer's a lot. They built wrong, and they built wrong for a long time. Yeah, but I like the future.
So I'm going to ask you this question. Let's say they're at 3. And let's say Kuminga and Mobley go off the board 1-2. My question to you is, how would you...
Cade. You run that Cade up.
No. I'm not asking that question. The question I would say is, how would you rate Cade Cunningham's defense overall? Because like I've talked before recently about Cade, where the hardest thing for me to judge him is because I hate watching Oklahoma State basketball. I'll be completely honest. And the reason why I hate it is, and I know the watch along, I was kind of memeing him a little bit because I was like Cade Cunningham would come down, get double teamed, shoot a shot and miss. And I'd be like, well, bust. Don't take him number 1. He ain't number 1. He's a bust, Dave. He ain't number 1 pick. I was doing that all through the fucking Texas game, kind of ragging on Cade a little bit sarcastically. But like, for me with Cade, it's hard to judge how good he really is because of everything we talk about, to where his team around him is so bad, to where it's like, I almost want, you know what I want from Cade Cunningham? I want him to be more aggressive. I want him to be like, fuck it, I'm just going to put the team on my back.
Russell Westbrook numbers? Yeah. Are we talking Russell Westbrook numbers?
Basically, when Russ was like, fuck it, I'm the only one here. That's what I want to see out of Cade. Like, that would at least give me like that alpha dog mentality. I don't see that. So for me, it's like, I look at it and I go, am I wrong for doubting him?
There were 15 shot attempts.
Yeah, I mean like the eye test though, where it's like, it's not a like, I want him to go down and basically say, you know what? I am putting this ball in the basket no matter what. I don't see that when I watch him play. And that's why for me, it's like, I don't know if it's because he's on the bad team and it's the same as like Ben Simmons, to where it's like, well, fuck it. Like,
well, I mean, his turnovers are going to be bad no matter what on this time. I get that. But defensively, I don't know. Like, he's got the body. He absolutely has the body. I think it's more motivation. I've seen him locked in, and I think he plays fantastic defense. I think he'll be an above average defender at the NBA level. But it's just that, like, how long does he need to be locked in on a team that, you know, they are competing every night because they can't blow anyone out. They're not in a situation where it's like, hey, we're the clear favorites. Like, it's not, you know, Gonzaga or fucking Tennessee out there being able to cruise at times. So, like, if he's not playing locked in defense, it becomes very noticeable very quickly. I think maybe that might be something contributing to it. But again, like, this 6'8" wing who can shoot fucking, you know, above average from all 3 levels, and looks like he will translate excellently to the NBA. He can pass, he can facilitate and pass. It's the same word, Dave. Gets his own boards. Like, yeah, I don't know if there's a hole in the game other than the fact that, like, if you want to question the assist to turnover ratio and look deeper than us being, I don't want to call it lazy, but like just taking the first available. Well, his teammates suck. I've watched enough of his games to know when they miss passes that should convert into catch and shoot opportunities, or that they aren't on the same page because perhaps they don't know the offense as well. Like, shit like that happens. Like, I've chalked up a good deal of his misfortune to that, but yeah, he's good. He's very good. I don't think Cade will go 3. I think Cade will go 1 or 2. I think Kuminga will go 1 or 2. I think Mobley is going to be the guy who falls to 3. But everybody's going to be like, I low-key think Mobley will be the next Anthony Davis, and these other 2 guys are going to be okay. They'll be good, but not great. Like, we've never seen so much top-end talent. So, like, prospects are getting better because they're getting started earlier. And, like, that's the thing from watching the G League that I realized is this G League of 2021, if they were playing, you could take a G League team in 2021, drop them into the NBA in, like, 2002, and they would not be a bottom 5 team. Like, the best G League team this year could probably compete in the middle of the pack in 2002. Like that's the level of talent is gone up in the last 20 years.
As a Bulls fan, Dave, that was bad basketball for us. So I'll take anything over what
we were watching little shit on the floor.
Literal shit stink in front of us.
Baby Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's easy with the T-Wolves. The one thing from the Twitch chat that I want to hit is from Eric, where couple of things. He goes, how many more number one picks this team is going to need? Then he said, I am just hoping they lose their number one so they would stop being talked about as a dumpster fire, and then Minnesota should just flop their pick to Golden State. Couple of things here. One, you never flop a pick. You never want to lose your pick. And also the other thing of if you're someone out there that thinks how many number one picks does this team need? Dave, do you want to know how many number one overall picks they've had since 2015?
Karl Anthony Towns was what year?
2015.
Anthony Edwards.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Like, this team also... That's
more than most franchises outside of the Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm. And their picks, by the way, since then. So 2015, first overall, Cat. 2016, fifth overall, Chris Dunn. Seventh overall in 2017, Lauri Markkanen. Oh, by the way, those two picks, the last two I said, got shipped over to the Bulls because they went ahead and got Jimmy Butler. They also had a first-round pick at 20th overall in 2016 or 2018 that got them Josh Okogie because, oh, guess what? Jimmy Butler made it to the playoffs. Then 2019 was Jarrett Culver at 6, Anthony Edwards number 1 in 2020. So really, they haven't had that many number one picks.
Was a third overall pick?
Who?
D'Angelo Russell.
Yes. I think it was second.
They did have Wiggins prior, who was the first overall pick. Technically the Cavs, but you get the point.
Yeah, I mean, but they traded for those, but technically you're right.
They've had a lot of heavy drafting players on their team. Rubio.
Yeah, D'Lo was 2. He was second overall. Because that was the Embiid draft, right?
No.
Okay, I can't remember.
That was the Jaleel.
Jaleel, that's it.
AP.
That's why it's like, yeah. I mean, then technically you could say Wiggins and Wiggins was the number one pick, so I guess that kind of falls into it. But the thing that set this team back was trading 2 of their top 10 draft picks for Jimmy Butler in order to make the playoffs. Therefore, they had a top 20 pick and not a top 10. That's what they did. The Tom Thibodeau part of their storyline set them back in reality. We all thought it was going to set. I think it did because
I think their players not giving a fuck about basketball hurt them.
That too. They don't have.
That's why they're not the team. It's because their best player, their most gifted, perhaps the most gifted offensive center in the last 20 years, just does not care about basketball as much as he does other things in his life. There's nothing wrong with that, but when your job is to win basketball games, maybe the people who count on you to win basketball games would appreciate it if you concentrate more on basketball. That's all.
I mean, also,
I don't want to pick on Cat. He's had a horrible fucking 12 months.
I mean, you look at it too, where it's 2015 second round pick, 31 overall, Jetty Osman traded to Cleveland. Hasn't been doing that bad of late.
He's a good player.
Chris Dunn, better off the T-Wolves. Lauri Markkanen, pretty good fucking player. How would he have looked if he was on Minnesota? I mean, they also traded first round pick this year. They traded Alexei Pokusevsky to the.
He's playing like an ass anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
And then they also traded Daniel Cthulhu is how his really name is sound. They traded him to the fucking Clippers. So
it's okay. McDaniels is going to be the starting 4. He's a stud. Great on defense. Great on offense. Going to be great for them long term. But yeah, I think that this is all about landing that 1 through 3 pick. They cannot afford to lose out on that. If Golden State pulls the heist of the century, flips Andrew Wiggins into a great 2-way player, and walks away with a number 4 overall pick this year, the league is fucked. Yeah, it's not fair.
We're going to have to wait and see. We will obviously talk about the Warriors at some point. I don't know how often we're going to do this. Obviously, like I told you, David, we don't want to obviously run out of them. But I wanted to start these. 29 more to go.
But the top of this draft is locked in for the top 5 at the moment.
Yeah.
We feel fairly confident that it will be a combination of Cade, Kuminga, Mobley, JG4, and Suggs. So we can work within that range.
I'm going to say
we talk about these guys going to these teams.
I'm going to say Suggs is the only one that's not a lock.
Really?
Jalen Johnson or somebody can take his spot.
That's true.
Like a Barnes, a Jalen Johnson. I'm trying to think, maybe a Corey Kispert, maybe his own teammate takes his spot. Because he's he's fucking rising up people's draft boards. Like he's top 10 now. And it's like, holy shit, Corey Kispert, who we had outside the, I think top 15.
Like 14.
Did we?
13. Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up really quick.
Yeah, look at our 1.0. We did not have.
I know you were higher on him than me. Maybe I was the one that
shot like 50, 50, 90.
So Corey Kispert,
Desmond Bane's proving if you can shoot really well, you will translate to the NBA. Desmond Bane, congrats on your starting job.
Yeah. So, all right, you had Kispert at Corey. So I had him at 14 to the Thunder. Yeah. You had him at 23 to the 76ers.
Flip that one. That sucked.
Dave, clip that one. I knew one of us had him outside the top 15.